Boom, it's your boy Big Baby Miller straight out of Brooklyn. You're watching True School Sports. Tune in, motherfucker.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. And recently, in my trip to New York, I got a chance to interview one of my close friends, someone that you guys probably don't know a lot about because he's not really out there in the public eye, but he's a good friend of mine. He does work in boxing. He is an important person in boxing because he works for Cohen Promotions, who have a good amount of notable fighters such as Jarrell Miller, Malik Hawkins, Mason Menard, but Jarrell Miller being the most notable name. Talked to Cliff and got his insight on just the life of a boxing promoter, the boxing business from his perspective as a promoter, and just kind of sharing that, how he got into boxing promoting, how do you get into boxing promoting, all that good stuff in this clip right here. So I want you guys to check it out. Hopefully you enjoy the interview, and here's what Cliff had to say.
All right, Brendan Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with a man you may not know, but you will very soon, Cliff Mass. How you doing, Cliff?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, man. Been hanging out with you all day today.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell people out there, like who exactly is Cliff Mass? What do you do? What's your role in boxing?
Sure. I've been in boxing for just a few years. I'm with Cohen Promotions. I work with Greg, and it's been a pleasure learning from him. He's been in the game a long time, about 27, 28 years. He's handled a lot of big fighters like Hasim Rotman Jr., Shannon Briggs, Austin Trout, and he was a part of the whole heavyweight explosion. So he represented a lot of fighters that fought Klitschko, and he knows what he's doing. He's been in the game a long time, and it's been a pleasure to learn from him. So I've just been doing whatever I can to help him with Cohen Promotions, whether it's looking for new talent or just working on projects, and really just doing a lot of listening and a lot of learning over the past few years.
Absolutely, and I know like as far as what you do, Greg, you're more of a behind the scenes guy. How did I would say you're more of a behind the scenes guy.
Yeah.
How did
promotion? I guess in general, boxing promotions is pretty much like that. It's
in general, yeah.
For the most part, like what we do, I would say so.
All right. Well, how did you get into promoting? Because like a lot of people never know how that starts. How does one become a boxing promoter?
That's a great question. So I was actually in commercial real estate, and I hated it. And my trainer, I did some personal training. My trainer, Derek Panza, was a professional kickboxer, won a whole bunch of championships. And he did some professional boxing. He did some promoting. He did this own series, like with Chuck Norris, I think. They opened up like some sort of kickboxing league, and he's just very involved. And right now he trains MMA fighters, he trains professional boxers, and I just told him I hated what I was doing before, and I wanted to get into boxing because I was always enamored by the spectacle of a show, like an HBO or a Showtime.
Yeah. There's a presentation of it.
It's sold out. You see the lights, you see the fighters come out. It's like, wow, this is pretty cool. And you always see like big shots at the fights, and you're like, wow, I'd love to be involved in something like that. So I actually just asked him and said, can you introduce me to someone? He introduced me to someone who I'm close friends with named David Schuster. And at the time, David Schuster was doing some local shows. He wanted to do another show with Greg Cohen. He introduced me to Greg. And things went well. We did a local show at the Space in Westbury, New York.
Yeah.
On Long Island. And I was just like, I want to be involved. And that was it. The moral of the story is, if you are interested in something, you just have to ask someone, and it could work out.
Absolutely, and having the right connections always helps.
Of course, yeah. I just got lucky.
Yeah,
you can't really get into boxing, like unless like you're born into your dad was a boxer, your friend's a boxer, you know someone in the business. You don't go to Monster. You don't go to like Indeed.com and figure out how to get into boxing. You have to.
It's just one of those things you gotta kind of like have a connection to it somehow, some way. Yeah.
I got very lucky.
Absolutely. So my question would be is for people because there's a lot of boxing people watch my channel, they don't know how boxing, being a boxing promoter works and how boxing business works.
It's not easy. I wouldn't recommend doing it if you're not an expert in the sport and if you don't have some sort of financial experience with the cost of putting on a fight. You don't you watch it, like if you're a fan, you just put on TV, you see the lights, see HBO, you see Max Kellerman, you know, you
Jim
see those-
Lampley,
you see the Jim Lampley, or you see the Al Bernstein Showtime crew, and you're just like, wow, look at all that. It's not easy to make that all happen. There's so much that goes into every fight. There's a lot of financial layout. It's not just investing in fighters, it's understanding the sanctioning bodies, having relationships there, being able to move the fighters, help them get world championship fights, help them get big money fights, having relationships with HBO, Showtime, having relationships with the other networks, having relationships with the venues, being able to make good, sound business deals, having business deal experience. So it's very difficult, and it's there's so much risk. There's just so much risk, and that goes for really anything in boxing. So that goes if you're a promoter, that goes if you're a manager, that goes if you're a fighter, that goes if you're a trainer. You know, everybody's got risk, right? The trainer invests all of his time with the fighter, hoping that the fighter is going to make a purse, and the trainer is going to get, you know, whatever, 10% of it.
Yeah.
So the trainer invests his time, the manager pays for training, depending on the deal, the type of fight or whatever, training, living expenses, all that. So it's huge investments, and you really have to be passionate about it, because, you know, there's gonna be good times and bad times. So you have to know how to, you have to really appreciate the good times, but you also have to be able to roll with the bad times.
Yes.
Because you can't always win. So it's very difficult. It sounds, you know, glamorous, and I guess it is, but it's kind of like anything else, where it's about risk and reward. So it's about, you know, it's about taking the big risks and being able to deal with the upsides and the downsides, because there will be downsides, but, you know, there's also upsides to come with it. And if you're a fan of the sport, if you're passionate about it, and you get involved, it's that much more special